An all-around beautiful hotel in a somewhat odd location, the Waldorf Astoria Lusail is comfortable in its own skin. Just make sure that you are as well before you arrive. I'll tell you all about it. If you're new to the channel, hi there, I'm Kevin, the Flip-Flop Traveler. If there's one thing I want you to know about this self-funded video, it's that my opinions are honest, my own, and unsponsored in any way. If you'd like to know more about the channel and how I do things, scan the QR code or click the link in the description to learn more. Have a look around the channel. There are hundreds of airline and hotel reviews to enjoy. Wait, is it a cruise ship or a hotel or a beach resort review? Starts now. When we conjure up images of places to go for a beach vacation, there are a solid 20 or so countries which would come to mind. Mexico, Thailand, Indonesia, the Maldives, Mauritius, maybe Egypt, maybe Panama. But Qatar? There are few countries on Earth that have been so well defined by their national airline for the majority of people. And so I think many of us are guilty of briefly forgetting that the country does in fact expand beyond the walls of Hamad International Airport. Leave those walls and you'll find the modern and spotless city of Doha. As appealing to some as it is a turnoff to others. I get that. But Qatar is trying to change that. A little bit. All of this kind of culminated with them hosting the World Cup in 2022, and opening an absurd number of hotels just prior to the Cup's first match. This is one of those hotels. So I'd invite you to explore the hotel with me within that context. A city trying to broaden its appeal, while fully understanding it's not for everyone. Opened in 2022, this 429 room and suite property was designed by WATG architects and is meant to be inspired by flight as much as it is inspired by the sea. Quote, "The hotel rises and falls elegantly with smooth, simple curved forms inspired by flight. Reminiscent of clean lines found in nautical design. The sweeping effect of the balconies generates a building form that is constantly animated, no matter the angle," unquote. I'm usually not one for lofty designer language, but it really does kind of fit here. The entire structure feels starkly and oddly organic, as if it was almost grown from the desert, rather than being built. The reception area is dominated by Peacock Alley, the signature bar at Waldorf. I should note that I was here during Ramadan, so the only food I'll be showing in this video is the excellent breakfast they put on. Well in advance of my arrival, I was contacted and informed of which venues would be closed, which is understandably so, most of them. One thing I'm not sure I ever appreciated enough prior to arriving here though, was the importance of a very low hum of music in the lobby. Music isn't permitted in Qatar during Ramadan, and so the lobby was this echo chamber of deafening silence. All of that said though, the service on arrival more than made up for all of this. Truly one of the more charismatic and warm check-in experiences that I've had this year. Before we head outside, let's take a look at where we are. Qatar is located in the Persian Gulf, and is just a bit larger than Jamaica or Cyprus. On its east coast, you'll find its capital city of Doha. Lusail, where the hotel is located, is a community just to the north of the downtown core, one of the 4 new districts in the city meant to bring visitors in. Lusail meant to focus on entertainment. Understanding the location here touches on my opening comment. I think it's better to think of the hotel as a deconstructed hotel on a beach, rather than a beach resort. Oh, and just next door, there's a mall that's around 600 times the size of the hotel itself. Let's head out to the pools and the beach. The hotel has 2 primary pools, along with a kids pool and a surprisingly front and center kids water park. If you're enjoying the video, please go ahead and click that like button. All of my videos are self-funded, so clicking that like button and subscribing really does support the channel. If you're looking for lots more information about my travel in general, weekly posts, advanced itineraries, travel advice and the like, I'd invite you to check out my Patreon or YouTube channel memberships. I actually think they've done quite a good job with the limited amount of landscaping on site to give it a more of a resort vibe, with a variety of seating areas across the pool, on the lawn, and on the beach. The beach itself was spotless. The watercolor here doesn't look like much, but it's because of the later afternoon sun. When you see from my room, it's a beautiful seafoam green. I've actually learned to love desert beach locations in the past year. While I know it's far too hot for some, I'm starting to lean towards the super hot and bone dry rather than hot and humid. Especially since as soon as that sun goes down, it's just beautifully pleasant out. There's no doubt it's a beautiful building. There is one piece of it that's a bit odd though, and it's simply that in photos and in video, here included, it has this commanding presence, which gives you the impression that it's a pretty sprawling resort. But in reality, the building and the grounds feel quite small and manageable in person. Let's go head up to my room. Design cues throughout the hotel rely heavily on blues, and depending on where you are, either combining that with stark whites or cool wood tones. Particularly loved the old-fashioned style elevator dials. I booked a standard non-view or garden view room and was upgraded a couple of days prior to arrival to a sea view room as a Hilton Honors Gold. An upgrade that, due to the season, I was kind of expecting. After seeing my room though, I did call to ask if they had a room with a more central location in the resort within that same category, asking quite gently since I had already been upgraded, and they happily obliged. I'll show you why I asked for it at the end of the room tour. I can sum up the room in 5 words: white, blue, off-white, mirrors, and white. Perhaps not my personal taste, but definitely a nicely appointed room. As we look around, I'll put up the extra bits. I need to call out what were possibly the largest and definitely the best dates that I've ever had. I'm by no means a date connoisseur, but I do eat them daily and enjoy trying different varieties, and these were just truly a treat. They could almost be used as a meat substitute, like they were big. Note that room service operates normally during Ramadan, and so you can order alcohol to consume in your room, though it won't be on display anywhere in the hotel, including in the minibar. The closet was a mini walk-in style with 2 hanging spaces across from each other. Clad in enough Carrara marble to make Ashgabat blush, the bathroom was well appointed and nicely stocked with ByWater products, which are quickly becoming one of my favorites. Let's go check out the views from the balcony, which had 2 very comfortable chairs along with a small cafe table. Here we can see that beautiful water. Amazing how different it looks just an hour or 2 later. At its most beautiful, it exactly matches the color of the pools. The nautical inspiration in the curves of the balconies are really apparent here. So this is the view from my original room. Nothing wrong with it, and when on the balcony you can see the water, but when you're back in the room, it just feels like you have a city view. If possible, always ask for a room in the center of the curve. The hotel is located a block or so away from the comically over-the-top Palace Vendôme Mall, which without people and without music was quite an odd thing to experience. After dark, the hotel facade came to life. And I'd be remiss if I didn't call out what I think are the most eerily beautiful buildings in the city, or really anywhere, the Lusail Plaza Towers. The hotel has quite a few restaurants, including a branch of Sushi Samba, Scarpetta for Italian, ByWater, which we'll see for breakfast, the rooftop Highmore Lounge, and the health-focused Wild Earth. Let's take in a bit of the beautiful morning light, and then we'll head to breakfast. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. A full a la carte experience, perhaps? On offer was a full continental buffet, though, along with an outstanding, and I mean outstanding, and creative, and just really well done a la carte menu. This is the YM signature, smoked crispy rib eggs Benedict. There's pulled beef hiding in there. This actually left me momentarily speechless. I'm giving it a 9.8 out of 10 just because I think the sweetness was a bit too much for me. Since my croissant covered in rib meat and butter wasn't quite enough, I also went for the special French toast with spice roasted plums and almonds. I think the bread here was a bit too heavy, but I did like the spice plum and almond combination, 8.2 out of 10. Service across the board was truly outstanding. It was a level of casual refinement and care that I felt like I was missing during my stay at the Waldorf in Cancun, which felt mostly scripted. Now, am I suggesting to fly across the globe to spend a week here for a beach vacation? Yeah, not really. But if you're in the region already, or need to be in Doha, it's just a 10 to 15 minute drive from downtown, and I wouldn't hesitate for a moment to stay here, whether you're visiting with family or on business. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this hotel tour today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on for 2 new videos each week. I'll see you next time from here, flying Qatar Airways. Thanks as always for watching until the end.